open. You need him to get up to the door there. It's fine. We're about to just like win this here. Save it here. Open here. Got all the bullet time I need. There we go.
Max. I haven't forgotten you. Everything all right? Ooh, is this the way you want to play? Fuck! Have no fear. Blood is here.
Done. And there's Max Payne 2. Not yet. Wait, hold on. I still gotta kill him. That's right. That's right. It's easy though. There we go. Now there's Max Payne 2.
That must... Max, dearest of all my friends, I was supposed to be the hero.
The past is a gaping hole. Your only chance is to turn around and face it. But it's like kissing the lips of your dead love. Darkness waiting in the hole of your mouth. We are willing to suffer, to die for the things we care about, for love, for the right choices. Because of her, I had solved the case, my case, all of it, who I am. It's gonna be all right.
God, I turned out to be such a damsel in distress.
She was dead. The bullet in her head had come to the end of its slow-motion journey.
Stay sharp. We're going in. Go, go, go!
It is almost morning, waking up from the American dream.
Jesus. My God, what the hell went on in here?
They are all dead.
Now, like all my loves, she is mine forever. She has brought me here to this moment of clarity, where time slows down and I choose to look back, to see myself. And in that act of seeing, I am reborn.
Down here! This way! There! Easy.
Oh my God.
Got a live one here! Detective Payne? He's still alive! We need a medic in here now! He's still alive!
I had a dream of my wife. She was dead, but it was all right.
And there we go. Anyway, good song. But yeah, there we go. That is okay. Can my mouse fucking click? Thank you. That would be Max Payne 2. Yeah, I don't typically go through 3 that often because again, it's to be the story for 3. He's so out of place. And it's like, really, where do you go forward, right? Max Payne 2 really was like it kind of tied everything together and it all just like ended there, right? It was like, where would you go further with Max? And like Max Payne 3 was sort of an attempt of like, here's the next chapter for Max. But it's just, he's just so out of place with the whole story. I think the game would have done better had it just not been Max Payne and been like a whole other character and they'd done something different. But I just, Max is so out of place in that whole story, and maybe that was the whole point, is he's supposed to just, you know, whatever. I don't know. It just, it was okay to me, but I definitely think it's just one of those games. It's just better to watch people like speed run it than it is to really watch it all the way through. It's because it's just like whatever, you know. I don't know. It's wasn't, I don't know. I wasn't like anything like crazy special for me. Not something I'd play every year, for sure. So, but 1 and 2, like, it's you can't add anything to the story, right? Max Payne 2 again tied everything together. It still kept elements in the first game in terms of story, right? It kept a lot of continuation of it, and it just tied everything all up, and it gave a finale to that story. Like, it was a closure to that story. So there really is, like, you couldn't go further with that. You would have to start a new story with Max. It would have to be something entirely new with him, and that was the idea with 3, was to, like, where would he go next? But I just didn't see it. There's the one mission when it's like, it was like, we're gonna take Max and then we're just gonna put him in South America or wherever the fuck he was in that one, like Brazil, I think he was in, or I can't remember exactly where it's been a minute, but like, you know, they put him in this random country and he's acting as security there, and it's just like, it's a weird, it still has its goofiness that the Max Payne kind of had at times, and like the dialogue with some of the people and stuff, and there's still like the TV shows that are goofy you can kind of see, but because it wasn't Remedy that mainly worked on it. That was Rockstar that like primarily worked on it, but Remedy was like there to kind of like supervise a little bit. Like, they were there to kind of just like make sure they felt it was okay with it, and I think it just showed that it wasn't really a Max. The only mission in Max Payne 3 that felt like a Max Payne to me was when the guy, you have a flashback to when the guy was first recruiting Max to join him for this whole thing, and you're in Jersey and you're just like fighting all these fucking mobsters there, and you're going through I don't know, it just, that whole mission felt like Max Payne to me, and I was like, I would have loved to have seen something more alliance with that, but whatever. They just decided to tackle on him being an alcoholic and you know, sort of a painkiller addict and doing whatever. But I know, like, in the end, he has some kind of revelation and happiness or whatever. But it just, I don't know. It just wasn't for me. Max Payne 3 just wasn't for me. I think it's the fact that I just love Max Payne 2 so much. Like, Max Payne 2 I love like way too fucking much. It is up there in like my top 3 of like favorite games. I love Max Payne 2. Um I I know they're supposed to be doing like a remake or something of the first one. I don't know if they're doing both of them, if it's just the first one. I remember seeing something about that, and I don't know if Max Payne 4 is still going to be a thing or not. And I just don't know where would you go with Max again. So, but if Max Payne 4 is a reality and Remedy would be taking control this time, I'd be curious to see where they go with it. I know they're doing the remakes or whatever for 1 and 2. When that's planning to come out, I have no idea, but I know they had mentioned that the remakes are being in development. Now, I don't know if the remakes mean they're gonna like redo, like obviously they're gonna like use an updated engine and like redo all of it, but in terms of the dialogue, are they gonna re-record everything? Just because the voice actor for him is dead, for Max is dead. So I don't know if they're gonna hire a new guy to play Max's voice, or are they just gonna use the old lines from the old game again, like reuse his lines and try to like edit the sound files or something. Yeah, the voice actor for Max died last year, so curious. That might be something where they maybe he already re-recorded it. Maybe they re-recorded all his lines a year or two ago or something. Maybe it was something they've already had in the back, you know. But usually new games or movies in a series are not that good. Yeah, yeah. I'm definitely gonna play the remakes. Like I'm excited to see what they do with them. I'm hoping that they're still kind of the same story. I'm hoping it's just like a fresh coat of paint kind of thing. I'm hoping it's not them just trying to like revamp and restart the story. That would be an interesting idea, I guess, if they wanted to try and redo the story a bit, and then you could build into a new sort of universe maybe. But I kind of hope they don't. I kind of secretly hope they don't touch on the story and let it be what it was, and just kind of, like I said, give it that fresh coat of paint for a modern audience. It's such a fun story, and just I don't know, they're goofy and fun games. Uh, but yeah, I like to play these every year. I just do. I sit down. There was two other games I used to play on top of this. So I used to take an entire week off. My original tradition was I would take a week off of work, and I would play Max Payne 1, Max Payne 2, and I would play Shenmue 1 and Shenmue 2 as well. Because I loved Shenmue growing up. I don't know. It was just I always had a good time with those on the Dreamcast. So I would play Shenmue 1, Shenmue 2, and then both Max Paynes. And like that was like I would just take an entire week and that's all I would do. I would just couch potato all four of these fucking games. Now I don't do the Shenmue anymore. I haven't. I don't. It's been Jesus. It's probably been like longer than 5 years, I think, since the last time I played Shenmue. I didn't even really play Shenmue 3. I got the. I don't even know where my disc copy of it is. It's somewhere around here. I helped with the Kickstarter for Shenmue 3, and my God, was that such a disaster of a fucking game. But I got the disc copy of it, and it's sitting in a box somewhere. God, and it wasn't even like the story. Like it just was with fucking Shenmue. Like we wanted to see some sort of closure, but like because the Yu Suzuki has basically he said that the whole story was written. He said he already wrote the entire story for Shenmue, and I dropped my other fucking battery. Hold on, I don't know what the fuck it went. There it is. I don't know. He said he had written the entire story already. It's there. The story is done. But Shenmue 2, we hadn't seen anything about Shenmue 3 for a long time, and then finally Shenmue 3 was happening, and it was like, oh, that's great, cool, we're gonna finally see it. He starts a Kickstarter. I decide to I think I gave him like $100 or something on the Kickstarter. I was really excited. I wanted to support it. I wanted to see Shenmue 3 because I wanted to see the story progress. I wanted to see what more there was to it. And then we got fucking the shit ass game Shenmue 3 ended up being, but story wise is really what was more important to me. But it wasn't even the end of the story. It was like there's still more to the story to go, and it's like you fucking just release I just want him to release a book now, like, or a graphic novel, a manga. I don't give a shit. Give me something that gives me the rest of the story. I just want to read it at this point because we're never gonna probably see another Shenmue. Yu Suzuki's working on some other fucking game now. I saw at the Game Awards or something. He's working on some other fucking title now, some kind of mobile game, I think, or something. And I don't care. He's doing that now. Just put the rest of Shenmue into a graphic novel and let me see how the story ends and let me see where it goes. But fuck. Ugh. Like they were cool because what you have to appreciate, what you have to appreciate about Shenmue is that it's what kind of started this really fun style to what built into what eventually built into the Yakuza games. Uh, you know, Sega basically kind of took. Sorry, I got a fucking fly or something right now. Sega basically took a lot of the systems there that like Shenmue had offered, a lot of the cool stuff out of Shenmue, and then they went on to produce, you know, the Yakuza series with it, and the Yakuza series has just grown and gotten better and better and better over its iterations, in my opinion. But yeah, it's annoying when they drag it out. I know it really is. When you constantly are waiting for the next game to come out to see where the story continues. They're fun. Yakuza games are always good. There's a lot of Yakuza games that we just haven't even gotten. There's like a few more that are like only in Japan that have just started to like port over, I think. So, but you can't. I'll tell you this: as much as you'd want to play it storyline, if you know, it's like if you wanted to play it from like to see like a complete story, you would go from 0 to 6 or whatever, right? You would play it in that way, but I tell you, you can't do it that way because because of the way they change the systems up throughout the games. You honestly want to start with like 1 and then like the 2 and then 0 and then like, or no, you want to do like, you almost want to like, it's so stupid because they did the remakes to 1 and 2 and they're so much like better, but it's almost like you want to play the original 4 in the you want to play 1 through 4 in like their original state, right? And then almost play 0 and then, or I think even 5 that way, and then you play 0 and then like 6. It's just because they updated the engine and like updated everything when they came out with 0, and then the remakes, I don't even think 1 even had the new system. I'm pretty sure it was like 1 was just like still the old system but like remastered, and then 2 utilized 0's system, and like it was like 0 came out with the new system, and then 2 remastered used the new system that 0 had. So it's just really fucked if you try to go back and play all of them. It's like you almost, like I said, you almost want to play like 1 through 5 in the original versions, and then play 0 and then play 6, or vice versa, whatever. Like, yeah, it's just because they decided to do these like remasters, but they used new systems for the remasters of them. Yeah, the Yakuza Kiwami, that's it. It's the Kiwami series. And I think even the first Kiwami may use the new system. I can't remember if the first Kiwami uses the new system or not. And I don't know if they ever went through and did a Kiwami for the rest of the series, because it would make sense. Yeah, they just have Yakuza 3 remastered. Okay, which may or may not even use the new system. I don't even know. They have Yakuza 4 remastered, came out in 2021. I don't know, maybe they have. Maybe they've reworked all of the games into the new system. I'm not entirely sure. You might be able to play them all in order. Yeah, I'm looking at them all on Steam. They've got all of them. So they did a remaster of all of them, I guess, in 2021, it looks like. So, but I don't know that they're not Kiwami though, but they're just remasters. So they might play like the old systems and then the Kiwami are the new systems. I don't know. You're gonna have to read a bit on there. If you're wanting to play the Yakuza games, you may have to read a little bit on which is the proper order to play them in terms of like old systems and new systems, so you're not too fucking confused. You're not going from one game going, why does this play this way? Then you go to the second game and you're like, oh god, why is this like outdated? Like, you know, there's probably an order. still have my box set for Yakuza 6, I think it was, or was it 0? I have a box. I have like a collector's edition one because it came with these cool like whiskey glasses. Yeah, so I had the first two on my PS2, and then I hadn't played them in a while. I didn't actually get back into the series until later. But there's like other like little side Yakuza games too. They have like, what is it? They have like the one that's like a zombie apocalypse one. They have um oh god, what else was there? Yeah, there's like a zombie apocalypse one. They have like one that's set in like feudal Japan. Um they have like some other like side ones that are just slowly getting like converted over. And then they've got like some other spin-off that are like with other characters in the same universe. And now they're working on a new one that I think is set in feudal Japan again, but it's not Yakuza, but it's by the same team, I believe. It'll be like its own thing. Oh, the Warriors, yeah, it's great. Tell me you've watched the movie. I hope you've seen the movie. The Warriors is a great movie. Yeah, it's a good PS2 game. It's definitely one of those like better movie games. There's like very few. There's like you can really think about like movie games. There's like a few that are like legit, like are like pretty decent. Like Warriors was a good like movie game, right? Like, and that was, but I mean, it was also because it was made decades later, right? But I mean, it was like it was cool how they did it. But what's another good movie game? Yeah, the Lord of the Rings ones. The Lord of the Rings like movie games were pretty decent as well. Uh, Nobody can ever forget about PS1 Hagrid for the Harry Potter ones. I really need to get PS1 Hagrid as a fucking emote. I need to add that in as a fucking emote or something in here. When I was at the convention a couple weeks ago, uh, there was a guy at the rave there who had a fucking he had a big old like like picket sign thing there, but he had the PS1 Hagrid fucking face like printed on a sheet at the top of the sign there, and he was waving that shit around in the rave. It was funny as fuck. Oh man. Well, have to get up fucking early because we're supposed to be leaving. She's supposed to be picking me up around like in like 8 hours, but I'm like not tired. I just know I gotta get to bed though at some point and get some sleep. And even though I'll probably sleep on the drive anyway. I'm going. We're driving out to. We're driving out to Chicago tomorrow. I have a friend of mine who's never been to the Field Museum out there, so we're gonna go hit up the Field Museum and I'm gonna show them because they've never seen Sue, which is like big old T-Rex and stuff. They haven't actually seen any of the stuff out there, and so I was gonna show them the museum. Yeah, I went there a couple years ago with my family. I hadn't been there since I was a kid, so I went a couple years ago with my family, and then I was talking to a friend of mine because they want to take all their kids out to. They were going to just go to a different museum, but then I said, "Well, have you ever been to? Have you ever seen Sue? You ever been to the Field Museum?" And they said, "No, I've never been there." I was like, "Oh, we should just go there instead. Fuck it, let's just take the drive. You know, it's only a few hours, so let's just take the drive and go." So that's what we're gonna do. I took off of because I have. It's funny, like this. This has been really stupid with the holidays, right? So this past week, right, I worked. I had to work Monday, and then I was off Tuesday and Wednesday. Then I had to work Thursday and Friday, and it's the same thing again this week. Work Monday, have Tuesday and Wednesday off, then work Thursday and Friday again. And I just said, "Fuck this." I'm just gonna take Monday off and just not have to come back into work till Thursday. And then so my boss was like, "Yeah, that's fine. You can take Monday off." So I'm like, "Okay." So I don't have to go back into work till Thursday. I just thought it was stupid. It's just like this whole come back for a day, off 2 days, come back for like a day or two, then off again, then on again, off again. It's like the company should have just given us from like Christmas all the way through New Year's off. Like we should have just had it all off.